Alrighty, everyone, I have Johnson & Associates consulting firm, the Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson, tell them what you do.
So I believe in transforming vision into strategies and turning those strategies into success. I connect the people's what to their how. So most people, when they're running their business, they have an idea of what they want to do. They have an inclination as to what, but that how piece is always missing. What we do is we provide the bridge between what and how by providing process design and standard operations management across the board.
So let's start at the foundation for the people. What exactly or how exactly would you define strategy?
Well, strategy would be the pulse and the heartbeat of a company, right? So what that means is that your strategy gives you the opportunity to drive and navigate through the road of your business journey. Without a strategy, you're a sitting duck. Without a strategy, you have a dream, you have an idea, and there's nothing wrong with a dream or idea, but without a driving strategy, you are going nowhere. And so we find ourselves in today's business climate with a lot of people have a lot of great ideas, great entrepreneurial dreams, but we're missing the piece that's going to take us to the next level, and that's the strategy and how to navigate in today's business climate, because today's climate is not the same as yesterday's.
So it sounds like to me, because strategy is just my favorite thing, I thought I'd do a sound bite here. I also specialize in project management and operations management, so we are here, two peas in the pod, in this pod right now, and so let's talk through strategy. So many people misinterpret strategy with goals, with deliverables, with projects. They just mesh it all in one bucket. How do we help the clientele unpack strategy and how it differentiates from a goal or a project?
So, Rae, that's a great question. So I like to tag it like this. Your goal is the endpoint. Your goal is your destination. The strategy is the roadway to get there. And so when we ask people why did they start a business, they say, I want to change the world. I want to make a difference. I want to quit my 9-to-5. I want to leave court. Like, these are all very admirable goals. But when we talk about how to get there, that is the strategy that's going to take you from point A to point B to point C and ultimately end up in your success.
So in talking about strategy, I asked Mr. Michael, what vertical does he specialize in, or is there a specific industry? He said strategy is strategy across the board. Expand upon that.
So, basic fundamental business principles are the same almost in every industry. So you have to have, let's start with from a foundation perspective. Your business has to be set up the right way. Let's start there. It's great to have a business and to sell your product or to sell your service, but if you are not registered with the state, if you don't have your EIN, if you don't have your tax information, you're almost non-grata.
So business foundation.
Business 101, business management 101 is the foundation. And so from there we ask the question, well, what do you want to do? What is the purpose? What is the mission? What is your why? Why did you start your business? And then we unpack the why. And from the why we determine, okay, well, what problem do you want to solve? Because businesses are designed to solve problems.
Got it. Can we repeat that?
We sure can. Businesses are designed to solve problems. If your business isn't solving a problem, then really you just have an idea.
Might be a hobby.
It's a hobby. And sometimes our hobbies become so expensive and we become emotionally attached to our hobby, not realizing that we're not running a business, we're running a hobby. And so we're talking tonight here at this networking event, and shout out to Network CLT. This is absolutely amazing. If you are not here, you are missing the vibes. But we are talking about it tonight really to hone in on strategy. Really to unpack, because we're going to get from a 50,000-foot view all the way down to a very granular view in about 15 to 20 minutes. So strap on. It's going to be a very quick ride, but it's going to be very succinct and very pointed to get us to our destination.
So let's go ahead and jump there. We talked about strategy. We talked about the fact that you have to lay a solid foundation. But then when we get into service offerings, or if we get into products or product innovation and so forth, how do you coach your client on being able to look at the different pillars of their business? Like, how do you unpack what type of models you want to implement within their business?
So first question is this. So what is their product? Who is their target audience? Who is their target market? Right? You have to understand who you're 9 times out of 10, your family is not your target audience. I'll say it again. 9 times out of 10, your family and your friends are not your target audience. So we start with understanding who our target audience is. And if we can find, I like to call them an avatar of sorts. If we can find the one, like my product is designed for, let's say, the entrepreneur with 0 to 5 years of business experience, like that's particular person. That specific is my singular person. Now my job is to go out and find the community of everybody that looks like that. Because once we start dealing with product, my product is designed for that person. My product isn't designed for the mass, it's not designed for the world per se yet. But my product has that particular person in mind, and you multiply it and duplicate it from that point, and that's how you scale.
So how important is tools and systems and creating let's get to it.
You are talking my language.
Let's
you
get
are talking
to it.
my
How
language.
important is it? I mean, creating systems and tools. So many people think social media is the best platform to do just about anything, but then there's also a back end and infrastructure to be able to operate your business. Let's talk about that.
Let me put it like this. If you don't own your process, someone can own your business. Because social media can be taken away from you at any given point in time, and your content is lost. We saw it when, what was it? I'll just say the application, because I don't want to promote anything, right? When the application went down and everyone lost their mind for 24 hours, right? The content was gone, their videos weren't saved, so everyone lost their mind about what's next. You have to own your process and your system. So what does that look like? That means you may have to spend a few dollars and invest in creating a system that works for you, and use social media as an ancillary product, not your main pipeline to funnel sales.
So help the people understand, when you say products and tools and systems, what type of tools are out there? I know Trello is a free tool that you'd be able to leverage. Monday.com for workflow management. QuickBooks for accounting purposes. Like, help us understand. Let's give the people some game.
Right. So when we start talking about products, there are a plethora of automation tools. Yes, we are in 2025. If your business does not have some level of automation, you are missing the boat. So most businesses fail because most owners are trying to do everything. They want to be the CEO, the CFO, the chief operating officer, the chief administrative officer, quality control, the social media manager, and wonder why after year 2 they are tired.
Yikes. I think I'm going to keep him here a while. So let's talk about that. We told you all some game on tools in general. We want you all to automate your business. But then what about that pivot when you realize that, wow, I do have a good business model. I'm beginning to scale. When do you begin to start hiring the help? When do you begin to start acquiring specialists to actually help you expand and grow?
So now we start jumping into finance.
Okay.
So it's
finance.
Talking about money, because you have to have the financial backing to sustain your headcount. So when we start looking at employees and what does that look like, now we're talking about sometimes employee taxes. Now we're talking about employee payroll. Now we're talking about like their technology, their help. So when we start talking about developing systems, you have to ask yourself, what I call it reverse engineering. What is my end goal? What do I need? What do I want? And then how do I engineer my process to get me to my end goal? And so when we do that, we find ourselves setting ourselves up for success. I put it in terms of architecture. In order to build a skyscraper, you have to dig almost the same level deep. So you have to dig almost twice as deep to build a building half as high. And so when we do these things, it's all a matter of what our systems look like. Our systems are the foundation of our business, because without it, how can we operate? All right. So for me, I'll give you good and bad. When I first started, I was that person trying to do everything. I was the person trying to respond to emails. I was the person trying to, go out and get clients. I was going to the events. And so, we're going to have a very transparent moment, right? So I was the one going to the events, getting cards, but not utilizing the resources. I would go to the events and say, oh, my name is Michael Jones, this is what I'm trying to do, and we'd exchange cards, we'd exchange numbers, we'd do all these things. I never called them. I never followed up. I never reached out. I never set anything up to try to get my business to the, and something clicked. I was like, wait a minute, you're working too hard. Wasted energy. Like I spent all this time, all these hours trying to talk to people, and some of us, our social batteries run low, right? So specifically to your question is this. I have used Monday. I have used AI automation. And watch this.
Any specific AI automation?
So watch this. So I actually tapped into Fiverr.
Oh, I love Fiverr.
I actually tapped into...
They have all of my money. I just wanted to say Fiverr, if you want to sponsor me or anything, they have all my money. I've been using them since actually 07, and I just want to soundbite here that education is not just online. I actually found Fiverr in a magazine, because do you know how much it is to advertise in a magazine? Those people are paying upwards of about $15,000. So if they're paying that amount of money to put something in a magazine, 9 times out of 10, the people that are reading it can invest in whatever they're advertising. And I found Fiverr probably before you all knew that it was 2 R's in it. Yep, Canva too. I've been using Canva since like the early 2000s because I found it in a magazine. A magazine. So
no, definitely.
So the tools and systems are so important, and I appreciate the fact that you were able to name a few. But then if they want to be able to leverage your skill set, your expertise, tell them where they can find you.
Sure. Listen, you can please go to my website, www.jaspcf.com. That's J as in John, A as in Alpha, S as in Sam, P as in Paul, C as in Charlie, F as in Frank. jaspcf.com. It outlines all of what we do, how we can help, and as a matter of fact, I'll even throw this plug out there. Tonight and through the week, we are offering a 35% discount on your first consultation if you use the promo code NETWORKCLT. So if you sign up between now and the end of the week, we'll take 35% off your first consult, because again, we want to turn your vision into strategy and your strategy into success. So that's why we're here.
Love that. Thank you so much, Michael.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you.
Thank you all for having me.
All righty.